Hi, this is Sifu Mike Pekor from Tai Chi Kung Fu of Long Island, and this video is about the basics of our Kids Kung Fu program. First, I'd like to introduce you to the pork chop pad. This is a pad that the kids use to punch and kick and block. And it's important to hold it away from the face and the body. This way you don't get punched or kicked accidentally. Especially when people are first learning, it's hard to control the punches and the kicks, so we like to hold the pad with the elbows extended away from the body, away from the face. Sometimes we point it at the person, sometimes we point it away depending on the technique that we're working on. But we keep the elbows locked out, hold it with two hands, and never close to the face or to the body. It's called the pork chop pad. When you make a fist, it's important that you ball the fingers up tightly and then wrap the thumb underneath, nice and tight. We never put the thumb inside the fist. That would cause an injury if we hit something. So we keep the thumb underneath the fingers, which are balled up tightly. We always want to punch in a straight line with the elbow pushing the fist forward. And we keep the wrist nice and straight, nice and tight, so we avoid wrist injuries. You can see on the bag here, when we contact the bag, the elbow should be behind the wrist, behind the fist, punching in a straight line. When we bow, we make a nice tight fist with the right hand, and we touch it to an open left palm, and we lean forward and say, "Us." This comes from Japanese martial arts, and that's how we bow and show respect. Now our ready stance. Ready stance is very important. We could also call it a fighting stance. We keep the hands up high, elbows pointed down, knees bent, and when we get into the stance we say, "Hai! Hai!" Covering and blocking. This means how we defend against blows that are coming towards us, punches, kicks, strikes of any kind. The idea is to keep the forearms in between you and your opponent and sort of hide behind your arms, so that when a punch or a kick is coming in, you just cover up your head or your face or your body with your elbows, your forearms, your fists in a small movement. We try to keep the movement small so that our hands are always ready to attack if we need to. So that's called covering and blocking. Now to evade, that means to move out of the way. We learn to bend at the waist and to duck down. So here we're bending at the waist. And also we have ducking down by bending the knees to avoid punches. It's called slipping, bobbing, weaving. And this is part of defense, covering once again. Keep those hands up. Footwork, this is how we move around. We want to move in small, quick shuffles. So if we're going to move to the left foot will shuffle a little bit to the left first, then the right foot catches up. If we're moving to the right foot shuffles to the right first, then the left foot catches up. Moving forward, the forward foot moves first. Moving back, the back foot moves first. And we always want to finish in the same exact stance that we started in. Knees bent, body relaxed, hands up, good guard, ready to protect and also strike if we have to. We also want to learn how to pivot around the front foot, which means sort of circle your back leg around behind the front foot so that you can spin and continue to face your opponent as the opponent is moving around you. Here we just see some footwork. Keeping the guard up, knees bent, shuffling, small steps, and some pivoting around the front foot. Swing that back leg around behind the front foot to change your position. The jab is one of the main punches in martial arts. You snap the jab out quickly and sharply and bring it back even faster than you shot it out. We want to turn the body into the jab by letting the front heel come up and turn with the body into the punch. Always keep that other hand up high, right near the jaw, to protect. So here's the jab, Notice the front knee, front heel, the whole body turning or pivoting into that punch to give it power. See some fast repetitions. And we'll take a side view of that. Jab is not a knockout punch, but it's a punch that tends to make the opponent off balance, helps you find your distance, and then we can usually finish with a cross or a much stronger punch from the rear hand. Jab is more of a speed punch. Now the cross is very similar to the jab, but we're using the rear hand, the hand that corresponds to the foot that's back behind us. Turning the body, turning the rear heel gives power to the cross. Cross takes a little bit longer to get to the opponent, but it's a much more powerful punch than the jab. So we usually use the jab much more often than the cross, but when we throw that cross, it's a finishing punch. It's a very powerful punch, especially if you can, again, turn your body, turn the rear heel, turn the shoulder into that punch. And we'll take a side view of the cross. Knees bent, punching straight out, aiming at about the same height as your own nose, just for practice. You picture someone standing in front of you about your height, and you aim for the nose. Here's some fast repetitions. Always bring it back right to your ready stance. Hands up, good balance. The lead hook. The lead means corresponding to the lead foot, or the foot that's in front. The hook is a punch that's used when you're very close to the opponent, usually to the ribs or to the side of the head or to the jaw. You want to lift your elbow of the lead hand in the shape of an L, or right angle, and turn your body sharply, keeping the punch close to your own body and sharply bringing it back to ready position. Hands up in a good balanced stance. So here we see the hook. We'll do some fast repetitions. I'll take a look at it from the side before we do the fast repetitions. Again, this is the lead hook, meaning the front hand and the front foot. So we turn on the ball of the front foot, letting the heel come up and turn so that the body can add power to the punch. And here are some fast ones. It's a small, short, sharp move. Here's the rear hook. This is hooking with the rear arm. So it's the rear heel that turns on the rear hook. Again, keeping the arm tight to the body, raising the heel, elbow bent 90 degrees. And from the side. The back fist is a quick attack. It's a very, very fast technique. Sometimes startles the opponent. We usually strike to the temple or to the jaw, to the face. We whip out the back fist using the back of the knuckles as the striking surface. Back fist is usually followed up by another technique. We off-balance the opponent, startle the opponent with the back fist, and then maybe come in with a sharp hook or a cross or another technique. It's a very fast technique, the back fist. Also very good when you're already sideways to your opponent. Snap it out.